What's up, everyone? When it comes to travel and dating, you should always pack light because when it comes to extra baggage, we all know that ain't right. So, as always, stay tuned to stay up to date.
I love you like la 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 la. I love you like la 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 la. I love you like la 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 la. I love you like la 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 la.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Up to Date. I'm your host, Chelsea Texera, and today we are joined by Clint Bertucci. He is zooming in from Tampa, Florida. Clint, thanks so much for joining us today.
What's up? Nice to see you.
You too, cheers. Today we are, since we're so far away, we're drinking White Claws. So, virtual cheers, my dear.
Yes. The logo.
Woo! Ooh, love a fresh crack. Love that. All right, cool. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Clint?
I'm in the travel industry, live in Tampa, Florida. And when it's not COVID season, I'm usually out and about doing tours and whatnot, doing a lot of traveling about half the year. So,
Half the year? Wow, 6 and 6?
yeah, about 6 and 6.
Okay, cool. So how long have you been living this lavish lifestyle, sir?
We don't have to go lavish, but this is
Pretty
our
cool.
7th year with Traver. So we're getting up there.
Wow. Okay. So why don't you fill us in a little bit about Traver? I did my research, so I know, but let's let our viewers know because they might be super interested and want to dive in.
So we do like group travel for active lifestyles. So we take just active individuals and take them on trips all over the world and just do some of the most exciting, amazing stuff you could ever imagine.
Okay, so when you say active individuals, so is there like a requirement before you get accepted to a trip? Like you have to be ready to roll? Like I don't know. Like tell me about the requirements.
You know, it's funny that you say that because we are actually considering going exclusive. But as of now, we used to have age requirements on it, but now we just, when you see the marketing and the pictures and the videos of our trips, or you see the itinerary, yeah, you got to be ready to rock. I mean, we do some fun and exciting stuff. I mean, yeah, they're really exciting trips. Whether it's climbing mountains or ATV mud rides or jungle rides, we do a lot of crazy stuff. Yeah.
So where are all of the places that you go?
Well, we just added Tulum, which is amazing. That's will be coming up next month. But normally we do Thailand, Italy, Greece, Peru, Colombia, all over. I mean, Iceland? Did I say Iceland?
No, you didn't, but I have seen a girlfriend of mine, like actually before I even knew Dylan, knew you and did all the Traver stuff as well. One of my girlfriends, her name's Julianne. She used to work at ITAN down here, which I did too. Shout out ITAN. But she went on the Iceland trip and it looked so beautiful. And I just was like, wow, how fun is this? But so yeah, what inspired you to start Traver? And like, was it a daunting task? Like what are the hoops you had to go through to start this business? Because it seems amazing and something that I think anyone who loves to travel would be interested in.
I love it. That's a really good question. Well, I was in the finance industry for like 10 years. The market crashed. I ended up going back to school, studying abroad, and completely fell in love with travel and just kind of went away I actually moved to Italy indefinitely, started traveling and
Definitely. What part of Italy?
Florence.
Florence. Okay. Dylan loves Florence.
That's where I met Dylan.
Oh, okay.
So had the time of my life and decided, you know what, I'm not going back to financing. I'm going to start a travel company. And it's funny that you say, was it daunting? Because everybody thinks it's so easy, and it was far from that to get it up and running and off the ground.
I would feel like you need like insurance and just like a crazy amount of pre-planning and which I think that we both are the kind of people for that task, but I don't think it was an easy thing to do at all.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's so many different aspects. People think, oh, you're just going on a trip. No, man, no. You're marketing, you're researching, you're guiding. Like there's so many different aspects to a company like that. And it's funny because we're actually going to start rolling something out where we're going to teach people how to start their own company. So
There we go. Entrepreneur. Okay. Cheers to that. That's what I love to hear. I'm all about getting out there, woo, and doing whatever you want to do and showing people how it's done.
I like it when my logo shows.
White Claw. Yeah, we call that
At some point, mine's not.
front face, baby. Mm-hmm. Love that all day. Man. So cool. Okay, so I probably interrupted you. So what went into it? Like what did you have to do to get it started?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing was the research. I mean, you got to go out and you can't just go online and, oh, what restaurant am I going to take them to? And, what hotel? No, man, you got to go and stay at, 5, 10 different hotels. You have to go to those restaurants. You have to do, 10 different ATV rides to find out which one's too dangerous and which one's not dangerous enough.
Oh God.
Clubs, all that stuff. So you can actually show these people an amazing time.
What a hard life.
Nah, get out of here.
Okay, so you have to stay at all these different places. So just so people have a little bit of an idea, obviously when you go to the travel website, you can see this. But so you pay like a flat fee, and what's included in that usually?
Yeah, so the same thing every time. So flights are separate, but in their travel trip, it's hotel and accommodation. They have a travel host, welcome dinner, farewell dinner, all breakfasts, and then all listed itinerary activities. And the trips are usually packed with all sorts of activities, but also a lot of free time. So they can go and run around, do whatever the hell they want on their own.
I love that. You need some free time. You can't like if it's too rigorously scheduled, it's just not as fun. It's a little bit stressful. And then also when I travel, I feel like I love like a good breakfast and a good dinner, like maybe a snack in between. So it's cool that the breakfast is included. Like we need a little bit of sustenance to start our day. But the rest, it's like if I want to pop off somewhere and have a chimichanga, I don't want to be wronga. All right, like give me my time.
I love it. And it's so true. And you know what else is the breakfasts? Because it's all about meeting new people and people bonding. You know how this goes with travel.
Oh yeah.
At breakfast, that's where people bond a lot. You talk about what happened.
You wake up in the morning. Yes. Mm-hmm.
What are you going to get into today? And that's where a lot of bonding comes in, a lot of planning of what's up, during free time or whatever. So kind of part of it.
Are you a morning person?
You know what? Okay. Naturally, absolutely not. I am the worst. Like I would sleep until like probably like 11 naturally, but I have trained myself that yes, I am now a morning person. So yeah, yeah.
Okay, good. Well, especially when you're traveling, I think jet lag is a huge thing for me being a morning person because I'll be straight up too. I know I was like, oh, gas, but also I love to like I don't go to sleep before midnight usually, so I like to sleep till like at least 8. Like I'm an 8 o'clocker. Sometimes I can get up earlier, and whenever I do, I feel really good. But yeah, like give me sleep or give me death.
I mean, like in high school, I was late all the time. I couldn't.
You were
There's
late?
no way I could. But oh yeah, but yeah, I was late. But now I'm up. I get up at like 6:30. I'm up and about.
Wow. 6:30. I can't relate. But anyway, so okay, so good stuff. So that sounds so much fun. Like for a lot of people who like I like to plan my trips. So but for people who don't and they just want to go and see and do the best things, like what a blessing. Like what a dream. You like wake up, you have dinner or breakfast, already provided for you, and then you have plan for the day, some time to chill, do your thing. And then so at nights you guys don't do dinners together. It's you do whatever you want or
some of the nights they have dinners together. Some of the nights are free nights. It really depends. They have a little bit of everything. And yeah, that's one of the biggest things is with and I'm sure you travel by yourself a lot, but I'm sure you've run into like, hey, I have nobody to travel with. So we have a lot of people that come solo. That's a big thing. Like your friends don't want to travel and you finally get sick of it. You're like, yo, I'm just going by myself. So this is a big option for people that, they don't have to wait on somebody. They come, they got 20 new friends that are cool as hell, just like them.
honestly, I love that. It's like for me when I do travel solo, I stay in hostels. So it is kind of like the deal where you can do plan things with the hostel, which I've done like in Italy. Actually, I stayed in Rome. That was the first place I ever went solo, and I did like a pasta making class with the hostel. They had like the number one bar in Rome. I stayed at the Yellow, so met a lot of people doing stuff there. So there are like ways to navigate that, but it's also really cool to just have like a trip where you're like built-in people who are on the same wavelength as you. Good vibe tribe.
Yep. You know what's funny? With our trips, we stay in nicer hotels. We stay in usually like 4-star-ish hotels. But when I go and I research the itineraries for travel, I usually stay in hostels because that's where you find out the most, like the most fun stuff. You meet the best people. I think hostels are awesome.
How long are you even in the hostel either? It's like, who cares?
Yeah, 100%.
So pick the best hostel, which is going to be cheaper than the not nicest hotel. And you're going to get cheap accommodation, meet tons of people who are on the same wavelength as you from all over the world. And you just, yeah, I am such a hostel girl. Like people, I think get a bad idea of hostels from the movie Hostel. Okay. Scariest shit ever. But it is not like that at all. They're so bright and sunny. There are people working there always. Nobody's going to try to slice off your toenails or anything weird. So I don't think so.
It's sad that people think that from watching that movie.
I know. I will never watch that movie again. I watched it once in like high school. It's a no-go for me. Ever.
So check this out. So one time I'm traveling with my buddy. We're just bouncing all over Eastern Europe. We're everywhere. And we arrive on the train and it's a dreary day. It's raining. And I'm like, bro, this train station looks so familiar. And you know what it was? It was the train station in Hostel in Bratislava, Slovakia. Where it smashes the girl. And it was that train station. I was like, no way.
We're out. We're so out.
It's so crazy.
Okay, wait, where in Eastern Europe? Because one of my favorite places ever is like kind of over there.
That particular place was Bratislava, Slovakia. And it was so dreary, but it ended up being the nicest day. This was years ago, but so check this out. I'll tell you a quick story.
Love stories.
When we arrive there, I'm like, yo, and we figure out that it's the Hostel train station, and we're like, whoa, that's so crazy. So we get off the train, we have nowhere to stay, and this creepy ass dude is sitting there with a sign and it says Hostel. And I'm like, I don't care, I'll do it if you want to. So we end up going with the guy. I'm not kidding. It was so out of a movie. The guy looked like Igor. He like walks with a limp. And he takes us down this creepy
ass. It's my strong hand.
Yes, it was like that. Underneath the bridge, and ends up taking us to this completely secluded area. But it ended up being one of the coolest days we've ever had. It was so amazing.
You know what? Trust your gut. She knows what's what. I'm glad you're alive because what?
Now.
But see, like once again, like that's what traveling's about. Is about. I've said this on many episodes, but if you believe it's a friendly universe, that's what it's going to be. And if you don't, then you're going to get some weird shit. That was like on the cusp. So I'm glad that it tilted to the right for you. Good. I'm so glad. Okay. So speaking of, what I want to ask you, what are your 3 favorite places you've ever been? Since I know that you are a travel fiend, just like me. So I love to connect with people on like, what's their favorite?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're asked this question so many times, and I wish that I had some crazy answer like, Macedonia or wherever. I've been to a bunch of exotic places, but, as cliche as it sounds, my favorite place is definitely Florence, Italy, Greece, probably Mykonos or Santorini or some other crazy island. And I would have to recently say Tulum. Tulum did something amazing to me. That place is one of the greatest places I've ever been. It's really great.
Well, we can't wait to hear about how that tickled your fancy. But let's start with Florence. Okay, so tell me about Florence. Why is Florence your number one, your favorite?
Number one, probably because that was kind of my intro into real traveling. Like I've been to, Mexico or some cruises or whatever, but that was legit what I consider my first intro into real travel. And when I stayed there, I ended up making such great friends. I mean, Florence, as you know, it's like a really small city. I mean, it's all walkable. So when I go back there, I know quite a few people, and it's almost, I consider it my second home. So I love the small town feel of it.
Really cool. Actually, you said, I know, I don't know. Because when I went to Rome, I was gonna take a day trip to Florence, but I actually just stayed in Rome for 5 days. I really like, as I've evolved in my traveling, I like to stay in a place longer. Like my very first Europe trip, it was like 3 days here, 2 days here, one day here. Berlin. Berlin was one day, only needed one day. But then, like, you know what I mean? Like, now I'm like, no, I want to stay at least 4 to 5 days in a place because I want to really get to experience it, feel like, and that's not even enough, right? But I really want to experience it. So the day I had the choice to go to Florence or take a pasta making class with my hostel, I decided to take myself on a walk in the morning, found this beautiful park with a museum in front of it, went and grabbed this like yummy caprese for breakfast and some prosecco, came back, did this pasta making class, and I was so glad that I did it because I just feel like it would have been such a rush day for me to go to Florence, even if it's walkable, walk around and then come back and just be exhausted. No, I was like, I'm gonna make some pasta, have some fun with people that are all like on the same wavelength as me. And then that night I ended up getting trashed at the Yellow Hostel Bar. Thank you guys, love you. Didn't get to see the Coliseum in the morning because I had to catch my flight to Budapest, which is one of my favorites. But anyway, so did not make it to Florence. So I'm always like really interested. I've heard it's just like really, really beautiful.
And I love Rome as well, but Rome and Florence are completely different. So it is everything Rome is not. It's just that Rome's big. I mean, Rome's very big.
I felt very comfortable in Rome. I almost felt like I'd been there before, even though I hadn't. Like it just felt like such a comfort for me. I walked all over. It was great.
Yeah. No, I love Rome too. But yeah, Florence is just totally different. It's like and it's exactly what you're hitting on. And I totally agree with that. How it makes such a bigger difference when you stay somewhere over 3 days. Like even, 5 days, 10 days, whatever. But yeah, when you and Florence for that, when you stay there, you actually become a local. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Giuseppe, what's up? Like, No.
Yes, 100%. So yeah, okay, cool. So Florence, love Florence. Give me like top 3 things you would recommend to do in Florence, and then favorite thing that you ate in Florence.
Top 3 things to do. Rent a bike, rent a bicycle, and ride around Florence. It's awesome. But lock it because it'll get stolen.
You better lock it up. You always lock it up.
Yeah, you better lock it up.
Better lock it up.
That's a good one. I don't know if you haven't been there, but it's the most beautiful view of Florence. You look over the city, you see the Arno River. It's amazing. And go inside the Duomo. I would go inside the Duomo.
That was on my list. That was totally on my list.
Yeah, those are all great. And then would you say the best thing I ate there?
Yes.
Oh, this was almost the best thing I've ever eaten in my entire life.
What?
Every time I go, obviously, I mean, even after living there, I still try and find new things. And the last time I was there, I hit up somebody that I know that lives there. I was like, yo, give me something new. And they're like, okay, you got to go. You got to make reservations for this Parmesan wheel pasta. And I'm like, so I Google it and it comes up on YouTube, and they take this Parmesan wheel, light it on fire, and so all the Parmesan, and then they throw the pasta in there and they mix it up. And I'm like, it might not taste as good as it looks. It tasted 100 times better than it even looked. It was the best pasta I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow. That Parmesan had it going on. Shit. Okay, cool. Love that. And what about dessert?
Dessert? There's a little spot I go to. What is it? La Volpe? What is it? Dylan actually knows it. Gato La Volpe. And they have a tiramisu that is amazing.
Okay. You can never go wrong with tiramisu.
100%. How could you?
I know. So good. Okay, great. So love that. Florence is already high on my list, especially I've heard Dylan talk about it too. He just like lights up like the 4th of July. So I know, look at you. Oh man. Okay. And then so what's next? What's the second place? We said Greece.
Greece. Mykonos or Santorini, I would say.
I've been to both. I would say Santorini was probably the most fun for me. It was so gorgeous, and that was where we splurged. So my very first Europe trip went with 5 of my girlfriends, and we went all over Europe, but we ended in Santorini for a week. In Greece for a week. So we did Santorini for 4 days, Mykonos for 3, and then we just did Athens for like a full day because like we were kind of like, okay, cool, we'll see the historic stuff and then dip. Oh my God, Santorini was a dream. Like honestly, the craziest thing. And by the time we got there, we had learned some lessons that taxis try to screw you. So when we were trying to get from from the airport to our next place, we told the guy where we were going. I was smart enough at this point, which why was I so dumb before, or any of us, to not map it. We got screwed out of like $100 in Paris for going like 2 miles because he was like, oh, $100 and you know, whatever. But so yeah, in Mykonos or in Santorini, this guy goes, okay, it's gonna be da da da. And I said, pulled up the receipts, bitch. I was like, here's how far we're going. So it's just like, that's what traveling is. Like you have to know that you're gonna run into obstacles, but you're gonna learn from them. So you can't be too mad. You gotta dust off your knickers and just keep going. But so Santorini was so amazing. We definitely had some hiccups. I'd say probably the most hiccups I've had in any country was probably Santorini, but it was still the most beautiful time that I've ever had and the most gorgeous views like you'll ever see in your whole life.
Yes, I love Santorini too. And it's so good to hear you say that because a lot of people think Santorini is just for couples, and it's not. Santorini is amazing.
We rented ATVs. We drove all over Red Sand Beach, Black Sand Beach, Naked Titty Beach. Like we were just all over. So it was good. But yeah, so it was fun. We 4 of my girlfriends at that point because one of them went home, and we stayed in like one of the cool cave kind of hotels, had breakfast every morning, a pool, a spa. Oh my, it was just like absolutely insane. Yeah. So tell me about your Grecian trips.
No, I mean, same thing. And you know what? That's funny because that's kind of how our travel trip is planned too. It's like a little taste of Athens. You don't want a lot of that. You want like a day or two there.
Athens is kind of dirty.
Yeah, it's just, you know, you want to see it though, just like you said, you know, you want to go to Acrop or whatever.
Yeah.
But, and then,
the Acropolis, everyone, the Acropolis.
Yeah, yeah. I think Mykonos is amazing. Just, you know, around the island of Mykonos, you can grab an ATV and go from beach to beach, just all day, just beach hopping. And it is, I mean, I love that place. And then, what's the place called? Ah, man. What's the beach bar in Mykonos?
In Mykonos. So, okay, I know. What is it?
Scorpios.
Scorpios. It is Scorpios. Scorpios on the beach.
The best beach bars I've ever been to. I love Scorpios. I think that place is amazing. They have the best sunset parties. Love that. And then obviously Santorini. Just staying in the city center is because you don't have to do anything. Like you said, you just kind of, you can rent an ATV or really you can just kind of walk and stay in the city center. And you can go down. You can do everything from there.
So you stay, yeah, in Santorini, my advice would be to stay in Ia, which is up the hill. So Ia, which is spelled O-I with a little ding and an A. So Ia. But we went to our like favorite party place in Santorini was in Fira, which is spelled Thira, in Fira. So we went to Two Brothers, which was this crazy. Have you been there?
Yeah. That's what we go there.
Oh my God. So crazy. You're going to come out smelling like nicotine and fucking sex, but it's a lot of fun.
Everybody has a good time there. And they get up on the tables, everybody's dancing.
They have hookah, everyone's throwing napkins. Like they play all American music. They love Americans. Like honestly, it was one of the funnest nights we had in Santorini at Two Brothers.
Crazy in there.
Yeah. Such a good time. Yeah, I'm honestly like beaming even just thinking about it because it was so much fun. Like Greece is the people of Greece too are just so like warm and just like welcoming, and they know how to live life. Like, and then once again, like they are also a very tourist centered place, so they know how to relax too. They know to work hard when it's time to work hard, and then to relax and enjoy where they live when it's not time for, you know.
Yeah, I agree. You know what's funny? I feel like, not that Italians don't love Americans, but we have a reputation for being loud and obnoxious a little bit.
Are you Italian? You said we? Oh, yeah, Bertucci. Okay.
Well, you know, Americans being loud and obnoxious, whatever.
Oh, okay.
But in Greece, I feel like they're like, bring it, like as loud and obnoxious as you want to be, just get up on the table. They encourage it.
They love Americans. Are you kidding me? I feel like that they think that we're rich also, which is not maybe always a good thing. But yeah, no, they love us. They think they're like, "Oh, you're American." Like as soon as they hear American accents, they're like, "Fuck yeah, they're in." They want to hear about it.
And they know you're crazy.
It's true. We are fucking crazy, honestly, but wouldn't have it any other way.
I wouldn't either. It's fun. We have fun.
We do. We sure do. So wait, would you pick Santorini or Mykonos?
Oh man, it depends. You know, who am I with? What am I doing? How long do I have? I hate to be
Okay.
technical, but if I had 3 days, I mean, probably Mykonos, to be honest with you.
Agree to disagree. No, but I'll tell you this. I need to give it another chance, which I obviously so will. But because we stayed in Santorini for just longer, but then so we went at the very beginning. It's so crazy actually right now tonight. I can't wait to go repost this. We went 3 years ago, like right now. So we were gone for a month and we left like September like 15th and we were gone through like October 10th, 3 years ago. So that was my very first Europe trip. And then ever since then, I've been a freaking fiend. Can't keep me off planes, except for right now, COVID, you fucker. But anyway, but by the time that we got to Santorini, it was like perfect weather, so beautiful. But we got to Mykonos, and it was literally we got there on like a Monday, and that previous weekend was the last pool party of the season. So we didn't get to go to Scorpios, but we had it on the list, and we actually were in Barcelona right before we flew there, and we met guys that were like, they were from Chicago, and they're like, yeah, we just went to Scorpios. We were just like, did the whole beach thing. By the time we got to Mykonos, it was really windy
Oh,
during the
wicked.
day. By one, like we missed it by how many days? Like 3 days, and it was like so windy. So I will say this, I'm a huge fan of going kind of towards the off season or like towards the end of like the season. But one thing I definitely learned, like go end of September, don't go early October, because it really made the difference in the weather. Like we didn't get to like Mykonos party. We did at night, like we found some cool spots like by the cobblestone, the traditional white buildings, like the shop down there. What people should know, it's all like shopping. Yeah. So it was kind of like that. But yeah, don't go too late in the season. Don't try to get a cheap flight because you're not gonna be looking right. It's not the best.
I've actually had to go there just for like I had to go over there for something stupid for just a weekend, and it was during October, and I could not believe how windy it was.
It was cold and windy.
Like windy to the point of like, how the hell are these buildings staying on the side of this mountain? Like that windy.
Like we laid out on the beach, like our hotel was oceanfront. We laid out and I was cold. I'm like, even though it was sunny, whatever, I was cold because the wind, it was howling.
That sucks that you got it like that.
But you know what? Santorini was perfect, which is what I would have dreamed of. Mykonos was like not terrible. It was okay. Athens, once again, was just a blip in time.
Now you have a reason to go back.
Oh, always, yeah. The only place that I even like was like, oh, I'll never go back. I will, of course, go back because I need to give it another chance. Everyone deserves a second chance.
Oh yeah, especially Mykonos.
Especially Mykonos. Okay, good. So that's number 2. We love that. And then wait, actually, so I want to ask you, what's your favorite Greek food? Because I'm obsessed with Greek food.
I mean, again, I hate to be cliche, but like, there's a place in Santorini that has, I think it's like €1.50 for a euro, and it is the greatest thing you've ever eaten. It is amazing. It's right in the city center, right in Fira, and it's the best euro I've ever had.
Okay, there's this bakery in Fira, like right when you drive through. What?
I know what it is.
What is it called?
I don't know the name of it, but I get birthday
It's
cake
24
there.
hours. It's a 24-hour bakery. They have the most amazing like kiwi tarts, the most amazing spanakopita. I'm obsessed with spanakopita. Oh my god, just when I die, bury me inside that phyllo dough. So freaking good.
And you can go in there and get, you could spend €10 and get bags and bags full of stuff. And it is like the greatest stuff you've ever eaten. I have pictures of tables just full of stuff like that.
Oh god, no, honestly, Before we went on we took our little so we came from Ia, went back to Fira, and then we stopped there to get some snacks as we were going to the beach. Dude, we got so much spanakopita, those little tarts, like all the food you can imagine. It was so fun. I have to look up the name of it because I will never forget that place. It was amazing. Amazing. Okay, I'm getting hungry, so we're gonna switch. So what's the third place?
The third place would be Tulum, which
Tulum.
somebody said something about Tulum. Oh, we're able to go to Tulum. You should go make a travel trip or whatever. And I'm like, Tulum. I'm like, Mexico? Come on, you know? And I ended up going down there, and I was supposed to go for 5 days, and I ended up extending. I think I extended like 8 times, and I ended up there for like 31 days. That place is so incredible.
You know what? So Tulum is a place I haven't been, and I can see why somebody would encourage you to go there now, just because as Americans, and especially, well, for us as San Diegans, I know you are in Florida, but yeah, I'm like waiting to go. I'm ready. I'm ready for a little Mexico trip because it's just a hop, skip, and a jump over the border. If you fly from Tijuana, the flights are so cheap that it is almost insane. But Tulum, so what is Tulum located next to?
I mean, you got Cancun, and then whatever the other one is there, but right next to Cancun, basically. You fly into Cancun.
Okay, cool.
Playa del
So
Carmen, that's the next one.
Playa del Carmen. Okay, so both of those are on the list. So I know that that's your next travel trip. So what are you guys going to be doing while you're there, and why is it your favorite?
What are we going to be doing? I mean, we stay right in. Oh, that's a big thing. You know what's funny? I talked to somebody and they're like, "Oh, hey, do you have any tips?" Blah blah blah. And I said, "Well, number one, biggest thing, stay on the beach, stay in the beach zone." And they're like, "Oh, we already decided to stay in the city center." And I'm like, I didn't say anything because you know you're not going to screw up their trip or be a jerk off, but you screwed up your whole trip by not staying on the beach.
Fucking loser. Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, I mean, that is everything. You have to stay in the beach zone. And
Yeah.
so we stay right on the beach. We got a nice spot. We do a couple dinners. We got breakfasts on the beach. We do some cenotes, ATV tours. We got some crazy zip lines, some crazy, like, it's 100-foot zip line, and then it takes you like, I don't know, like 500 yards or something. It's crazy. And then we also have a yacht day. We take a yacht out, and in the marketing, we just call it a yacht day, but it's actually an 80-foot yacht that we take out. So it's like pretty legit. So when the guests show up, they'll probably be pretty pleasantly surprised, you know?
Pumped and pleasantly surprised. Love that. Hell yeah. Okay, so Tulum, love that. Yeah, once again, haven't been there. It's on the list. So what does that have over like Cabo or anything for you? Have you been other places in Mexico?
I haven't been to Cabo, but I've been to Cabo-ish places. The biggest thing for me is the vibe. I mean, it immediately when you show up, you're just like, damn, like I feel this place. This place is somewhere I'm gonna be chilling. Like, I mean, everybody is just chill. The clothes, everybody's so into it. Like, I got decked out completely. I was with my girl. She got decked out, like fully dressed up. Like, you become a local, and I mean, you just feel it, man. And everybody's so cool and welcoming. I mean, you don't want to leave. Oh, and that's another thing. And you're chilling, you're getting to know everybody there. And then you hear the stories. Everybody's like, yeah, I felt the same way 30 years ago. I moved here and opened a little hotel or whatever. So people like feel it and then they move there and just stay there.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've heard so many cool things like that about Mexico. It's like that's why God made Mexico, a place where they can lay low. That's a Tim McGraw song. 100%. Like Mexico is the shit.
Yeah. And then a great spot that people want to go there is Pablo Escobar's mansion. Wow. Like, I thought, to be honest, it's a hotel, Casa Malca, but I thought, oh yeah, okay, his mansion. I thought it was just like a story, but it was his mansion. And you go and you're just like, holy shit, this dude ran this spot. Like, I mean, it's got like a secret grotto. You go down in the pool, you wouldn't even know it's there. You go down there and it's like, holy shit, this place is, I mean, it's for real.
Wow, for real. That's crazy. So you guys stay there in the travel trip?
Not there. We don't stay there. That's like a day thing, like a free time thing. If they want to go over there,
Just check it out.
yeah, it's an Instagram spot. Like, a lot of people go there and they take pics because there's so many cool pics to take there.
Okay. Love that. I am such like before I go on anywhere, I plan out my picks. I plan out outfits for my picks. I'm in it to win it. Well, you're a boy.
I am. This is true.
So, but just so you know, girls do that thing. So I'm sure you do know. I'm sure your girl does that as well. But yeah, so okay, Tulum, nice to know. I'm gonna need to Google some spots before I go because you have to be prepared.
Yeah. Or you hit me up. I'll tell you whatever.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, now I have the inside man. Love that. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
I'm all yeah, get in there, Mister front face that. Look,
Oh
come
yeah,
on.
what's up? Well, I can't do it like that.
Oh, it's not the right way. Okay, fine. Mm. Okay, love that. All right, so as a little transition, love Tulum, love Mexico. Obviously, that is like a number one destination for so many people in the world. What are some pet peeves you have towards the opposite sex? Like, what are some things that just like bug?
I try not to have pet peeves, but if you're making me name some here,
I am.
um, one of the biggest things is somebody that doesn't travel or has no urge or just has no doesn't want to travel at all, has no interest in it whatsoever. I mean, but to each his own. But like, if I was dating somebody and they didn't like that, that'd be nah. You couldn't be with somebody like
Quick story. So this is so weird, but so we're in the age of Instagram, so I have to just tell the story. But sometimes people slide into your DM. So I like used to be like, okay, whatever, like fuck somebody who slides into your DMs, but I get some good ones sometimes. So sometimes you have to explore. So this one guy slid into my DMs. He's from the East Coast, very attractive. I'm very into muscles. Like he was built like a Greek god. I'm like, I'm a goddess. Let's roll. So anyway, hits me up. He's like, I'm moving to San Diego, whatever, wants to take me out. So we go out, but also like I'm somebody who represents who I am via my social media. Like the first thing you're gonna see when you go to my social media is that I'm Chelsea. I love to travel and I'm a ray of fucking sunshine. If you're none of those things, please exit stage left. But anyway, so we go on this date. The first part of the date's fine. We go to like a second location to get some like another drink. And I'm like, so what, like, where have you traveled? Like, where's like your number one place you want to travel? He's like, honestly, I am not interested in traveling. Like, the only place I've ever wanted to go is Switzerland. I dried up like the Sahara Desert, which is somewhere I don't really want to go. But I also was just like, absolutely the fuck not. So I like continued to let him talk, but like I already was like ready for the check. And then that was like a first date where I was like I don't mind like a kiss on a first date. There was no kisses and no second dates. Like he kept trying to hit me up forever. Like he still even like I got a dating app recently and he had that dating app and tried to like me on the dating app and I'm like, "Bro, like no." And he even messaged me and was like, I know that like he's like, now now that I thought about it, I probably shouldn't have said that. I know you probably didn't like that. I'm like, how can you say that you are not curious about visiting anywhere in the world besides where you're from? Because he was from the East Coast, so he said my biggest like desire has always been to live in California. That's all I've cared about. We're like, like I'm from California, so like I get like it's like beautiful out here, but to have no other desires to visit any other place, I have nothing in common with you at that point. I'm like, ew.
and I don't want to sound like a dick, but I mean, it does. It kind of represents closed-mindedness. It's like,
It is close-mindedness.
yeah, and don't give me shit like, oh, you don't have the money or you don't have the time. Nah, man, it's not a priority.
Priorities.
Yeah, that's crazy. That sucks.
I was like, and I was like, oh, like it was literally crazy to me, but right then and there I knew no matter what, like I even put everywhere. It says like, what's a non-negotiable for you? Must love to travel, must want to explore, must want to go like see and do new things. I don't want to stay the fuck where I am all the time.
Watch though, you're probably gonna make a difference in his life. He's gonna Chelsea, I did it. He's gonna be in Morocco like tagging you.
The turban and like I hope so. I want to make a difference in everyone's life. Stop being stuck where you're at and get up and go, like go somewhere. But yeah, so that I'm so glad you said that because that's also a huge thing for me. Like one of my ex-boyfriends I dated for a long time too, he did not care about traveling and I was like, no, like it just made me sad for him because I was like, I know I'm gonna do this. So
I gotta ask you, all right, because I don't want to call it a pet peeve, but it's something that, you know, when you're dating somebody, I personally, because I do travel a lot, like it's one of the things that I look at is, and women obviously are notorious for overpacking. You overpack, don't you?
No, I don't, sir. First of all, just because I'm fabulous doesn't mean that you get to judge me, okay? No, I do not overpack. My favorite thing to do is not pay for a fucking bag. Are you kidding me? Traveling to Europe. No, so one of my tips, so I'm right now I'm in the process of creating a travel website. I already have the domain and stuff, but it's called Up to Date Destinations for everyone listening, so I'll have a link. But I'm gonna start doing travel tips from every single place I've ever been, like things that I learned from there, and just like a couple like snippets, like a list of things like this, do this, pack this, don't do this, whatever. But no, I love packing cubes. I will military roll the shit out of any and everything that I have. I try to bring a maximum of 3 pairs of shoes. Like, so maximum 3 pairs of shoes. I want like lately I've been into the booties. So for women listening, like need one cute pair of like probably black booties, goes with everything. You know, like you can wear it out at night. You can even wear them during the day, like if they're not too high, like, you know, but like comfortable. I need a pair. Well, okay, so the flip flops don't count for me because those are shower shoes, bro. Like I am such a weird person about like cleanliness and like my feet and stuff. I have to make sure my feet are clean before I get in my bed. So, and I also wear them in hostels in the shower. So a pair of flip flops, pair of I always wear Converse. One thing I will say, Converse lately have been giving me blisters. So make sure your Converse are the right size. So either a cute pair of like Nikes, Adidas, or Converse, like a cute walking shoe. And then yeah, so booties, flip-flops, maybe a cute pair of sandals, and like walking shoes. Once again, flip-flops don't count because you can just squish those together, a little freaking sandwich, a little flip-flop sandwich. But yeah. Yeah. Well, and also, so another thing that I do with so I do packing cubes. My packing cubes come with a shoe bag because I am also a clean freak, so I'm not gonna put I saw my friend pack. We went to London recently. She had her shoes on top of her clothes. I almost threw up. I was like, do you know that you walk all over the fucking ground with those? People have shit on this street. I haven't seen it, but I know it. Like, you can't, like, put your shoes on top of your fucking clothes. So anyway, so I have, like, shoe bags that are washable and all that, so super recommend that. But yeah, so definitely do that, but I don't overpack. I make sure that I have my outfits set. I make sure I have my pictures I want set, so I know which outfits. And when you roll things, I swear it changes the whole game. If you roll your clothes, they don't wrinkle, make so much more room. I don't want to carry a bunch of shit. Like, I don't want to do that.
Love it. And toiletries. You have to have your toiletries on point too.
Oh, don't talk to me about toiletries. But yeah.
Shoes and toiletries are where girls that's where it gets haywire.
Here's the tip that I have for toiletries because I've been fucked royally for toiletries. The first time I went to London, this bitch, they stopped my bag and she's like, you have too many. Like, no, I was so fucking mad. And so she threw away like my $20 Lush lip scrub, like my lotion, my sunscreen. A bitch got sunburnt. Like, I'm like, bro, I will sue. I didn't. But anyway, it was like so upsetting. And all my, like, it just, different countries have different stipulations for the toiletries. So, like, the USA, I'd say, is almost more lenient than other countries. Like, actually, when I was leaving, the last place, where was I? I was leaving London to go to Scotland, and they took apart my whole entire carry-on bag, and I could have murdered them with my eyes. Like, I was so fucking mad. But anyway, so just make sure, like, I'd say to save yourself some stress and time, either check a bag and put all your bigger, like, any toiletries that you really, really need and, like, you don't want to worry about them in your carry-on, pack them in your bag. Like, and also, if you think that you're going to have to check a bag, like, I have made the mistake of overpacking and thinking I'd get away with it. And then when I go up to the gate, they're like, oh, your bag's too heavy or, like, whatever. And so I ended up just having to pay for the bag. No. Either pay the $40 to check the bag, or when you get to the gate, you're going to pay $100 and you're going to cry. Inside. I didn't cry outside because I'm tough. But, you know what I mean?
You were crying inside.
I was fucking crying inside. I was so mad. But you learn the lesson. And then but the next two places you have the opportunity to like check them online. So I ended up doing that, but in forward site, I ended up looking at what I wore afterwards, and I was like, look, I didn't wear this, and this. Let's really like tone it down. Like bring tops that you can wear a couple times with like bottoms you can change up, sort of thing. It's just like prepare. I swear, prepare. It's like you might think it's like daunting in the beginning. No, it is so much better to prepare. So no. So did I used to overpack? Maybe, but now, hell no.
I love it. And I completely believe you. You sound like you got your stuff on point, and I love it.
Yes, good. Okay. So yeah, that's a really good, I think like a great transition to so we are going to talk about some dating things. And so we talked a little bit about this earlier, you and I, but I would like to talk about what would you say as a man? Like I love having the male perspective. We have a lot of females on the show. So whenever I have a boy that's right for the picking, I'm ready to just like throw my questions at him. So how do you feel? And I'd like you to have like both perspectives on being friends with an ex. How would you feel if your girlfriend was like, your current girlfriend or whatever is like close with an ex? What is too close? What is okay? What's not okay? And then what about you? Like, what do you think is like acceptable?
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. So, I don't know. I think honestly, it's just like, it's how much trust you have with that person. Like me personally, I'm cordial with, I think pretty much any ex that I've ever had, but
cordial is fine, but conjugal is not.
Yeah, but I mean, out of respect, if I'm dating somebody, whatever, like, am I going to go to lunch with my ex? I mean, probably not.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like disrespectful in a way. And if, my girl was wanting to see her ex or hanging out with her ex, to be honest, I'd be like, I probably wouldn't give a shit. But if it got to the point to where I was like, yo, I wouldn't be with somebody like that if I thought anything was going on or whatever. I mean, why would you deal with that shit?
No, why would you deal with it? Yeah, it's, to me, I think that, so I totally agree with you. The cordial thing is 100% like, there are like very few, but there are some exes that I hate. Like there's like very few exes that I hate. But there are some that if I drove by them and then we made eye contact on the street, I'd be like, fuck you. But but it would just feel really good and also probably just make me laugh. But I'm not like, like burning up inside over it. But yeah, there's some people that you're like, no, I don't fuck with you. But most of the time, like you date people that are good people. And like, like at the end of the day, it just wasn't a right fit. And that's totally okay. So like some of my like ex-boyfriends, we're fine. And like, maybe even would still, this is a weird thing too. Like maybe even would still like follow each other on things, but I'm a bitch in the sense that I'll unfollow your ass immediately. I'm not fucking looking at your shit. I am not engaging with your shit. I'm not liking your shit. You can like mine all day. I don't give a fuck about you. That's how I feel like once we break up. But it doesn't mean I hate you. It just means that like out of sight, out of mind for me. Because to me it's disrespectful. If my because I think about the script flipped, okay? If my new boyfriend were hanging out, you get, sometimes you're like chilling, you get an Instagram scroll going, one of you, and you both have an eyeball on it, you're like snuggling, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And it's like your skull, you see your ex's, like your dude's ex's pictures. That's a negatory, ghostwriter. Just like unfollow that. Like there's no reason for that. Like to me, so no. So yeah, so I think that like being cordial is okay. I don't really think it's necessary to still be friends on anything. Instagram, Facebook, definitely not Snapchat. I will murder you. And yeah, I actually, I'm really not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I can't, I'm sitting here trying to think, and I don't think I've ever had any real history with anything like that. I don't think I've ever had a girlfriend in the past that, has done that. And, but I have had friends that have had girlfriends that are talking to their exes, and I have had situations to where I'm like, yeah, you might want to keep an eye on that, bro. And I remember one in particular that it did not turn out well, and he was an idiot, and yeah.
If something feels off, it is. And let me tell you something. I'm so sorry to say this, Clint. Dudes are dirt. y'all be doing some crazy shit. Like y'all be having like side things happening, thinking that nobody's gonna find out. You're not slick, but you are sick. You sick fuck. Stop doing that shit, okay? Stop fucking being friends with your ex. Stop sending them Snapchats. Stop entertaining. So I actually went on like a first date, which was so great with this guy recently, and then a second date, and we're hanging out. Like he's like order whatever, like so like seems so into me, all this stuff, and he keeps getting a FaceTime call from some bitch named Samich. I'm like, who is this? He's like, oh, it's my ex girlfriend. It's kind of fresh, blah blah. And I'm all. So why is this supposed to be okay right now? And he's like, I don't want to be with her, but she obviously, still is like, And I said, so why are you entertaining this? Block this shit. Like to me, it was super disrespectful. I get that it's like brand new, but I think it is a disrespect. It is a disservice to yourself and to somebody new you're trying to date to like entertain things like that. Like you need to be direct. Hey, I think that you're like it's a one shot sentence, maybe even. Hey, I see you keep calling me. I hope everything's okay with you. I think you're a great person. We're done. Da 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 da. It is not cute and it is not healthy to entertain shit like that. And I'm a bitch who will say about it. Maybe there's other bitches who won't, but like,
Let me say this. I don't know the guy or whatever, but I know I'm right. I guarantee that dude's still having sex with that chick. They're still hooking up. And his ex, I guarantee they're still chilling. He's got her hanging out, waiting to see if he finds the right one. And like you're saying with the disservice, so many people do that. They keep somebody hanging out and they're doing themselves a disservice because by doing that, look, he just closed the door on somebody. You could have been the right one for him. But since he didn't let that go, look, he just messed it up.
Well, yeah, I was literally like, this is so rude. I straight up said, I was like, this is so rude. Stop. Like, literally, if I see that one more time, I'm going to freak out. Like, fucking loser. Anyway, but that's why, like, it's not always good to date people that are, like, wildly attractive. Sometimes you have to, like, go for, like, the medium ground because that's all I'll say on that. But anyway, so not okay with any contact with the ex, honestly, for me. Shared dogs, shared anything is not a good sign. What'd you say? It's baggage. Nobody Guess what? We pack light in this bitch, don't we, Clint? Oh, we pack light. Okay. So, yeah, packing light, it's only right. So there's that. Okay, and then, so let's move on to, this is, I think, like, goes to the next step. What's considered cheating?
What's considered cheating? Holy shit. That's a good question. Well, I mean, let's just be real. I mean, anything kissing and above, obviously. I mean, that's definitely cheating.
Okay, kissing and above, bro. Yeah, I think cheating is way before that.
Okay. No, I'm not disagreeing. Let me hear what you say. I'm just setting a standard of like, obviously, like kissing or anything. That's like,
if I happen to see like my dude or somebody I was talking to his phone and there's text from another female, cheating. Don't fucking entertain any girl but me. Like it's unacceptable. There's no reason. If you open my phone and saw a dude, hi beautiful, what are you up to? You would flip your shit.
Yeah, agreed. No, and that's wrong on both accounts. But hold on, let's talk about this because I totally agree with that. But
Okay,
what if it's a business thing? Because I wonder this shit too. Like, what happens? Like, for example, me, I have a lot of people that write me about trips, but I am able to separate that. Like, if somebody writes me some weird shit, I know.
Do people write you weird shit?
No. But if they wrote me some weird shit, I'd know, like, that's crossing the line. But if somebody's writing me, asking me questions about a trip, I know that's a professional thing. But even if somebody was writing your man, like, asking him a business question, like, you think that that's cheating?
No, absolutely not. But vernacular is key. Okay, if there's any like handsome or like, hey handsome, hey beautiful, hey da 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 da. I like emojis, but there are some emojis that like obviously should not be utilized. especially if you know that somebody has a significant other. Like if you don't know, like whatever, right? But like you're just like the other person better like, cover that track by just not responding with anything suggestive or continuing that conversation in that way. But no, I mean, I know that like there's so many people right now, like especially like business for you too. It's like DMs about this trip or like whatever, and I'm sure that some hoes are gonna jock. But no, you have to keep it professional, keep it just on a certain level. But no, yeah, I think it's a very fine line, and people try to dance on that bitch.
And you know what? Listen, let's just be real. You know, when you read text, you go, "Oh, I don't know what they meant." No, 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 man. You know what people. Even little shit like you're just saying, like, "Oh, hey, sexy." Like, come on, dude. You know where that's going. You know what they're throwing a little hint out there to see if you pick it up. Like, you know what's going on.
Well, especially like traveling too, like if you're going on trips with people who are trying to like get crazy with you, they're gonna try to have a couple tequila shots and then shoot their shot. So yeah, I can see that. But yeah, so your girl probably has the night hawk out on you when you go on your trips.
She doesn't give a shit, man.
Well, that's good. No, but see, so once again, you'd mentioned like it's all about trust, but I think that takes a while to build, especially like if in the beginning, like with once again, like this other dude who has been like super chivalrous in all other accounts, but like yeah, like he's like, oh, I'm pretty open, and like has his phone just out, and this I'm like, that's weird. I'm not into that. I think that exes should stay where they came from, which is in the past, and we don't need to like why are we gonna what's it called? I love this one quote I love. It says are you a plunger? Why are you fucking pulling up old shit? Like just let's leave it where it is.
You got some funny sayings.
Thanks.
What was the one you just said about packing light? I really like that.
Uh, I don't even know. Well, we might have to rewind the tapes, but anyway, packing light. Otherwise, it ain't right. Like like if you something like that. But no, it's so true. So like honestly, I love that because it encompasses everything we've talked about and everything you and I are both about, which is that like travel the world, go like see all the things you can see and really like explore that, but don't explore anyone else's vagina. If somebody, if so, or dick for, men out there listening as well. But so yeah, so pack light, do it right, keep your ex out of mind, out of sight. So that was good. So, anyway, Clint, I feel like this was like such a perfect talk. I love having men on the show to get like just the other side, like flip the script. But yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. I also super love, I haven't commented that there's a map in the background. Like it? Yeah, are you serious? Like I've maps all over. I have a globe in my room, a big map behind my bed. Like we're cut from the same cloth, which is the travel people.
That's right. You know what's crazy? Tell you a quick story. I know we're ending, but the map we have. I usually bring a photographer and videographer on the trips, and one of the photographers that's been on almost every trip, he does like handiwork, and he made that for me. How cool is that?
Wow, it looks beautiful.
He's the man. He does some cool stuff.
Love that. Well, so here's to men who do cool stuff, and for all the ones who don't do enough, suck it, get it together, and Clint and I are going to travel to some better weather. So Clint, cheers. Thank you so much for joining us. We will front face these White Claws. Have one more sip together. Woo! Cheers, Clint. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on Up to Date, and we will see you next time.